Jesus and the disciples are continuing on their journey, and now they cross the Jordan and enter into Judea. And then some Pharisees show up in order to test Jesus. And the question they use is about marriage.
Is it lawful for a man to divorce his wife?
They ask. Jesus knows that this isn't a question of curiosity, but a question in which they are using to trick him into getting himself in trouble. So he puts the question back on them by asking them what they believed Moses commanded. This is also a bit of a trick question because Moses did not command anything about divorce. Rather, Moses permitted divorce. And why would Moses permit something that was against the ideal that God set up? Because the people's hearts were hard. God's true intention was for marriage to be two fleshes becoming one inseparable flesh. The Pharisees then leave because Jesus did not fall into their trap. He answered wisely and in a way that showed great respect for God's ways. But Jesus was doing more than just trying to stay out of a trap. He was revealing the problem behind the Pharisees' beliefs. If you are following any god or any philosophy that permits you to hurt another person, you aren't following a system that brings more love. The only reason Moses permitted such a thing was because people's hearts were hard. They were so hard that they would have been hurting people no matter what. So Moses was just trying to soften that blow. But Jesus wants to cure that hardness. The cure is not more obedience, but the cure is love. Love God above all else. Your marriage is about God as well as your spouse, because it is God who joins people together. When you get divorced, you are breaking the work of God. The heart of this teaching has nothing to do with divorce. Jesus goes into much more detail in Matthew 19, but right here, it is not his purpose. His purpose is to soften people's hearts by getting them to stop asking, what can I get away with according to the law? And to start asking, what can I do to be more loving? So here again we see Jesus taking a child in his arms and saying, anyone who will not receive the kingdom of God like a little child will never enter it. Little children love their parents unconditionally. Even bad parents are loved by their children because the children don't know any difference between good parents and bad parents. They simply love. So let's love God, living with him in a holy covenant. Let's love him and honor him and keep him through the good times and the bad. Forsaking all others, let's be faithful to him for our lives and even beyond.